Hey guys, welcome to Herding Little Cows to the Glory of God here out on our back porch. Because it's still actually warm tonight. I mean, not warm. If I was going to stay out here, I'd put a sweatshirt on. What? What you being grumping about? Huh? What you doing? Okay, so this is our daily. Today's Thursday, May 5th. Cinco de Mayo. Cinco de Mayo. So anyway, we had tacos tonight. I'll explain that in a minute. So what did we do today? We got up and our breakfast was eggs, celery with almond butter and peanut butter. What else did we have? We had stuff.
We didn't like the peanut butter or something.
We had stuff. I don't remember what we had, but we had stuff. We had eggs. Then we did school. We did therapy. We did Bible. In Bible today, we read Judges 10, which is what the pastor at the church we're visiting on Sunday is going to be preaching about. And I'm not really sure what he's going to say from it. But what we were talking about was they say, "Oh God, please help us." And they were following Baals and stuff like that. And God's like, you're not following me. And the part that I was interested in it was God says, don't you remember that I, saved you from the Egyptians, and I saved you from the Ammonites, and I saved you from the Amorites, and I saved you from all these different things. And when we teach history to our kids, do we teach that God has a plan for all of the different things that are happening in history? Or is it just that there's these kind of chaotic things that happen in history and God's going to eventually make everything good? Because God is working good in all of those things, even through that time. And so we can see signs of goodness even in the midst of chaos. So we were talking, you grumpy. Are you grumpy? Yeah, your sisters are both busy. Yo. So we were talking about even in the midst of chaos. So like in World War II, we saw that there were a lot of Jews killed, and there were a lot of other people killed in the concentration camps. But God did use all of that to get Hitler out of power, because had Hitler just stayed in his own country, people wouldn't have been so worried. It would have been happening over there across the sea. But then when Hitler started involving other people started to stand up for the rights of those who were being oppressed. And so God did get the evil regime of Nazi Germany out of power. So that was one good thing that came from that. And you hear stories of people who tried to help save the Jews, and people who, smuggled the babies out of the concentration camps and those types of things. So there was good in all of that. Where are you going? Where are you going? So do we tell kids history from a biblical perspective? And then also, do we tell our kids the things that God has done in our own family? I mean, it's pretty cool that we can look back and say the Israelites were walking through a desert and God provided them water out of a rock and food out of the sky. But do we tell the kids about the things that God has done? We were talking this morning about how Mark and I used birth control when we first got married, and we told God, nope, we don't want a child. And he blessed us with Virginia, who is a huge blessing and has been here for almost 19 years this coming week. But then we also had a miscarriage after Virginia, and that miscarriage is what made us realize that God was in control of our fertility, and we left it up to God after that. So those two things that are things that we wouldn't want to really talk about out loud with our kids necessarily, like people may shy away from that, those things brought our family to the point that it's at now. So we need to talk about those things that God has done in our history. So anyway, we did Bible, and then what? Oh baby, do you want to crawl on the ground?
Want to play?
Oh no, you want to hold mommy?
Mama.
Do you want to hold mommy?
No, go down.
Okay. So we talked about that. We did our history. I'm gonna switch camera with Daddy.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna modify the camera.
Okay.
And
It's on a
you
little
can hold
selfie
back
stick.
Like that,
Hi.
right there.
Okay.
I'm gonna take.
If it's all wobbly, it's my fault. So Daddy's gonna go walk with him.
Like
That.
Yep, perfect.
Okay.
There you go.
We're gonna try this. It feels really weird. So anyway, we did that, and then we had our lunch. So for lunch today, we had soup with chicken in it, and we had rolls, and Josiah had some bread. He was very excited about that, his gluten-free bread. And it was a very yummy soup. That was from the broth that you saw me cooking yesterday. After that, we came outside. We're starting a new thing where we are trying to get Malachi to take a nap outside during the day. Today was the first day, and so he laid still in the wagon for about an hour, never actually fell asleep, so I let him get up, and that happens sometimes even when we're inside. But we're trying this new thing to see if we can do it so that... Hi, Mark's out here to correct it again.
Better.
Okay, so we're trying this new thing so that we can spend more time outside during the day, because what was happening was, now that it's getting nice, we would get him to sleep inside, and then we had to leave someone inside to keep an eye on him, because he's only 2.5 and he can't let himself out the door and all that stuff. So we're going to try to get him to sleep outside, and I think it will work. It was just too new today. So what we did was we set up a picnic blanket near him, and we read one of our reading books aloud. It was about measurements and where they came from. We'll have other books. I went to the library today and got some other books. So we will have books to read during that time that will be for everybody. Virginia worked in the garden, because if I can show you, whoop-ah, over there in front of that green shed is our garden. And Virginia's trying to get out some of the weeds from last year. We're going to have that tilled up later. But we sat over here by that tree with the wagon and a picnic blanket, and everyone could be part of it. So anyway, the kids were also, after that, we went on a ride.
Can you help Grandma with her?
Right. After that, we went on a ride, and when we came back, they helped Grandma make that little walkway to her house. It's all bad. You can't see it. We tried to zoom in, and it didn't work. There we go. The walkway right there. We worked on that. And that pile of sticks was from when we made the swing, that you might not be able to see. It's over there. Oh, behind that tree. There's a big, tall swing. And we took out some trees. And so that pile of trees right there by that chair, I'm trying to point where I am. Here we are. Okay, that pile of trees there, we're cutting up into smaller pieces to put in the fire pit right there. The fire pit, okay, Mark came back out. The fire pit is disassembled because Mom used some of it for her walkway, but we will be getting more stones for that. So anyway. Okay, so we went in town. He zoomed in. So anyway, we went in town after nap time that he didn't fall asleep. Oh, and also, Josiah, with his therapy, has to do a lot of creeping and crawling, and we have brought the pads outside the last couple days, and he's done a lot of it outside, so that's been really good. So then we went on a ride in town. We went to Rockland and took our trash to the dump, all this exciting stuff. You get to hear all the nitty-gritty. We went to the dump, then we went to the library. So if you're from around here, the library system around here, I know it's Rockport, I don't know, there's other libraries involved. Rockland, Rockport, Thomaston at least. What are you looking at?
Sorry, there's this jet trail here.
It's by the moon.
When you can see the moon that's here, the whole trail is doing this rather quickly. Anyway,
yeah, that's cool.
Sorry, that was kind of cool.
So I think Camden also, so if you're around this area, if you have a library card for any of those libraries, you can go into one of those other libraries and use your library card as if you went to that library. So I have a card to the Thomaston Library, which is very small because we live in a small town. And I went today to the Rockland Library, picked books off the shelf, took them to the lady at the desk and handed her my Thomaston Library card, and she checked them out for me. So it's great because the Thomaston Library, I can only reserve 5 books at a time, which if you're a large homeschooling family, you know that that is not enough books to get you through, especially if you're trying to study one specific topic. And so I went to the Rockland Library and picked out books that I wanted that the Thomaston Library doesn't have. So that worked out really well. And I can return those books to either the Rockland or the Thomaston Library. So all the books I have in the house now can just go back to one or the other. So it works out really good. So we went into that, and then we went and picked up a new computer. So if you were on our Facebook page, you saw that we were looking for a computer because our laptop that we've had for years, it was an old laptop, it died. No longer, the parts aren't available to get very easily and everything. So we decided we were going to get a new one because when we go on our trip, we take the laptop as our only computer source. We took another one this year, but it wasn't a good fit for the camper. So we'll be taking just this one. And we got a really good one from a son-in-law of one of our friends, our viewers. Hi, Vanessa. So we got a really good one, got a good price, and seems like it's going to work really well for the needs we have. Then we came home, we did all this stuff outside. We went inside and we had taco salads, and then we got ready for bed, folded some laundry. And now the girls are we're making new covers for our mattresses for our camper. I told you about that the other day. We went to Walmart and picked up sheets to be able to do that. So Virginia is pinning all the sheets right now, and Naomi is going to sew those tonight. I'm going to go in and feed the baby and finish my homeschool planning for tomorrow and the rest of the week and the rest of the year, all that stuff. And I have my homeschool review all set. In the state of Maine, we have to have a certified teacher look over our homeschool stuff. So I have that all set for, I think, May 24th is the day that we're going to get that done. So then I'll be done for the year and I can get ready to send in my stuff next year. I think that's it. We're going to go in. Oh, I got a mosquito biting me. We're going to go in because the mosquitoes are getting me. And I don't hear the peepers yet, but the peepers have been out. So if you're not,
There's a pond right back here.
so if you're not from somewhere that has peepers, we have these little frogs in the spring that beep, 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 beep. And maybe some night we'll have Mark come out. It's a bird.
That's a bird. Sorry.
Maybe some night we'll have Mark come out and do it because the peepers can be very loud and it's really cool to listen to. So anyway, I think that's all for the daily. We will see you guys next time on Herding Little Cows to the Glory of God.